Good morning, good evening, good night. Full house today on NFT Live. I got the homies here ready to talk Web3 and NFTs. Thank you for joining us for this journey, whatever this is. I feel like I got a hangover. Like the last 48 hours have been wild in NFTs between Azuki, heavy metal, and a lot of these other pieces popping off. But excited to be sitting here with everybody. What is going on, fellas? Let's go clockwise. Biggie Poppins, what's up?
Not much, brother. I'm excited for the weekend. I'm getting ready for barbecue time. I'm going to go ham on the grill and the smoker this weekend. It's going to be great. I'm counting the minutes.
That's awesome.
Counting the minutes till he's off the show, he says. What's up, Ronan?
Till he can get to the cooker. That's what's up, dude. Yeah, man, I'm in the same boat. It's been, like you said, kind of a wild ride the past couple of weeks in general and life and stuff. So for me, my daughter, my oldest daughter turned 10 earlier this month. My youngest daughter turned 4. But my oldest was at summer camp during her birthday this year. So we're actually celebrating it on Saturday. Then got some friends' birthday parties going on. So yeah, man, it should be a good weekend of like getting out of the house and like, you know what I mean? Like just enjoying like family time, friend time, and the beautiful weather, hopefully, because it's been rainy as shit lately here in Georgia.
What up, Gif?
Family first. Love to hear it. I don't know, man. Big GM Web3. Just got off of that. And yeah, lots to talk about. It's a big day. HV-MTL Forge, the future of Web3 gaming, drops today. And a lot to dig into with that. Obviously we're covering the game guide yesterday, but we're going to hopefully get to see it in action. Yeah, we'll see if there's any delays. A lot of times there's delays with these big drops, so wouldn't be surprised. But
I'm really hoping that it's not like an 8 p.m. or anything release, but I guess if it is, I'll be staying up late into the night. But good to hear everybody's doing well and touching grass, basically, man. You want to talk about longevity? These guys have been in the space for a minute, so I feel like I don't need to explain to you what longevity is in this space.
Real quick on that, it is funny that like I see some like young people that come in that have no idea about like what was happening on Clubhouse or what we did with Nifty Castle DBs and they're all they know about is like the recent big projects and that's like everything. And it does actually make me feel old. Like there's things where I'm like, man, there's just whole generations of like NFT people that have come in after us at this point that literally make me feel like a grandpa in this space. It's wild.
It's actually wild you're saying that because I'm looking at Twitter right now and EOS Network is celebrating their 5th year in existence with like a Twitter space. And that, dude.
Wow.
Dude.
That's 30. That's like 40 crypto years, That's dude.
Like a whole other lifetime.
Old.
All right, I've got an Azuki announcement here. I don't want to start with anything negative, so maybe we do some housekeeping first. If you guys have
I like the way you said that.
we're
I got an
like
Azuki announcement, but I don't want to start on negative shit. So we're going to go somewhere else first.
Ronan, we're making an effort to do our best to try and be cognizant of not just leading off with the negative FUD and the drama because too often...
Not farming that shit, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just like that's what ends up being at the forefront of everybody's minds because Twitter's always freaking out about something and then you end up coming in with like a negative mindset. And I kind of was guilty of that today, but good for Q. We're trying to be more, not do that as much.
Bravo.
And before we get into that, shout out to Nox Darkness for being in chat nice and early. He says he's in the kitchen. He's a cook for a living. That's what's up, dude. I'm glad you like.
Yeah, we need to get some recipes from Nox, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you haven't seen his like, he's got like a diner or something, and he's all like he has a whole wall in his diner that's just covered with his NFTs. It's pretty awesome.
That's sick. Okay, what? I gotta check that out.
It's lit. Yeah.
Where can Nox. Like Q find the alpha? See some pics.
I mean, Nox can tweet at us. Just tag NFT Live and Web3, and we can pull it up.
That's dope. I'd love to see that.
He usually does.
All right, I'm doing some shares of the episode here, just to get more folks in as we start. We pressed live about 4 minutes ago. Hey, I've got a new Wild Wild Web episode out. This was with NFT Sasha, talking about the ApeCoin DAO special elections. So those elections went live or closed, I guess, last night. So we have new special council stewards as well as just major special council members. Looks like Wabam and Captain Trippy are now at the head of ApeCoin DAO, along with, I believe, still Yacht is involved and Alexis Ohanian, but we got those two individuals involved now at the special council, and Tiger is fine, and I'm blanking on the other steward member.
All City?
All City, yeah. So Sasha was just in the running with Tiger is fine. I can bring up the snapshot for you guys, but it felt like there was a lot of activity and hype around this ApeCoin election, which is nice to see around DAOs. But I know that there was some person bringing up like the percentages. Let's see if I could find the. Okay, closed. Yeah.
Whenever there's this much money on the line, there's going to be interest, and people now understand that there's like high stakes and a lot of money being involved with this.
Hold up. So, wait, that can't be right. I was seeing Tiger is fine won the election, but it looks like 0x Sword came in last minute. So they are the new. So All City BAYC and 0x Sword. I thought Tiger won it. Are now the governance stewards, and then you can see the special council as well. Which just closed last night. So Wabam, Captain Trippy, and then Karma, Swicky, and Thread Guy are pulling up the rear on that.
Yeah, shout out All City. All City's an OG. We've been friends since Clubhouse, know them well. They've been, constantly building and trying to do things in the space, create community, and it's cool. It's good to see, some OGs in the space that have been working hard, getting some appreciation. So congrats.
Yeah, congrats 100%. On that to everybody that won. All right, we're going to get into the first topic. Again, if you're here early, thank you. We appreciate you guys. Any topics you want to touch on, just drop them in chat. We'll fire them up and see what our takes are. But without further ado, we have a message that can only be contrived as true. From Azuki this morning. This hit this morning.
This is the only true part of this. The rest of it is all like cover, CYA cover your ass nonsense, in my opinion.
Well, nothing's financial advice. It's all our
nothing's.
opinions.
Oh yeah. Should we hit that?
I like how Q's throwing fading Azuki by like totally not even throwing him a follow. You don't even care so much. You don't even not even for news, man. Not even for news.
I give him shit about this all the time.
Oh.
Real quick though, before we get into this is not financial advice. Information was found publicly on the internet. Opinions shared on this episode are solely of the Web3 team. All information is public domain. Please DYOR. All right.
Got it. All right, not talking about who I follow and don't follow. I like that to be private information here. Just kidding. Azuki, it's always both challenging and exciting opening up the gate to the garden. This time we missed the mark. We hear you. The mint process was hectic. The PFPs feel similar and even worse, dilutive to Azuki. So why did you do it? Our goal for Elementals is to grow the garden, welcome new members into the community, and most importantly, to expand the Azuki universe and set a foundation for a decentralized IP with deep lore, one that enables us to create a new type of anime that's already under production.
Can you start out with a more just BS, it's just nice words that don't align with the actions at all.
All right, I have a couple questions here for the panel up here as well as the chat. What collection takes over Azuki as the second most leading and prominent PFP collection, and where does Azuki go from here? They're not going to die. Obviously, we use that thumbnail as a way to get people in and then talk about the true shit. But where does Azuki go from here?
Those are two different questions.
I framed it as such.
All right.
I literally said two separate questions.
I think where do they go from here is just like everything else, man. It's going to be, what do you do from here, right? Like, what are you actually? is there actually an anime in production? Is there, something coming that's going to produce value for like these holders, like that makes sense? If you're going to claim that the purpose of what you did was to grow your community, then what are you actually doing to grow the community and actually bring more people in? Because the way that you structured the mint is not for other people. You had 2 rounds of a private list, like wait list, that essentially like was going to mint out before it ever hit public mint. So all you're doing is offering more assets to people who are already in the club. So that's not conducive to growing that club. So how do you actually get that done from this point? Because that's where I'm interested.
70 to 80%, I don't know the exact number, but the vast majority of all of the elementals went to the original Azuki holders. And then the beans only got the leftover like 1,000 to 2,000 opportunities, and then no public mint. So even the most accessible new way to get more people in through beans, they didn't even really get much of an opportunity. And even that, if you're talking about accessibility to bringing more people in, if you had to buy a bean somewhere between 1 to 2 ETH, let's say you spent 1 ETH. Okay, it's like 2K roughly for a bean, and then 2 more ETH, which is 4 more K. This costs people.
Who the hell? Yeah, exactly.
Dude, this costs between $6,000 to like $9,000 or $10,000, depending on like where you got in at, to try and get one of these, and then you didn't get one anyway for most of them. How the fuck are you growing the community? Explain how this was a move to open up the gates and the garden to more people. It wasn't. It's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, I agree like wholeheartedly. I think that like the thing it's always, the old cliche, right? Like actions speak much louder than words, and like nothing in the way that you structured this release, you priced this release, you actually launched this release says you actually wanted new people in your community. Like, to me, what it said was you were looking for another injection of funds. And like, if that's the case, fine. If that's your goal, and your goal was to also grow the community, then whoever led your strategy needs to be walked out the door, and whoever is in charge of hiring for that position needs to pick up the phone and give me a call, because that was poorly executed and poor strategy if you thought that you were going to accomplish 1, bringing in new money, and 2, also bringing in new people to your ecosystem that gave a shit about your brand.
All right, I want to play a game real quick with you guys. I've got about 6 photos lined up. You got to tell me if it's Elementals or Azuki.
I'll stay out of this round.
Elementals.
Both.
Got him.
That one's backwards. Is that a Fazuki? Did you throw in one?
Is that backwards?
No.
Okay. I need a guess. That's Azuki?
Okay, if I get Elemental. Elemental.
That one's tough. Elemental.
Azuki. Fucking Azuki.
That's a problem.
Azuki.
Elemental.
The first and last were Azukis. The rest were Elementals.
Fuck.
Jesus.
So
there were no duplicates?
Wait, the first one was an Azuki?
No, I'm sorry. The first and last were Elementals. Yes, I said it backwards.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm almost 100%
point.
positive that the animals were from new to the...
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Like, you should be able to immediately distinguish one tier from another. I mean, that's just... I don't care if they were going to have some type of connective tissue, whether it's traits or similarity, you should have still made sure that each tier was distinctive. That you could tell. I mean, yeah, it's a really poor job on their part.
There's in this whole thread, like we barely even got through this Azuki tweet. Yeah. What happens after this nonsense about it? Oh, we were trying to open it up to more community members. Is they try and justify and explain the design strategy.
Is it? Let's keep going.
Oh my God, it's such a joke. It's such a joke because nowhere in this thread do they just say, like, yeah, we did like it was lazy. There's duplicates. They don't own up to the fact that there's broken art or duplicates, and that like they rush too fast. They try and make it seem like, oh, we put so much thought and time and effort into this specific strategy that we thought was the right way to go. It's like, no, don't try and justify this. This was lazy. What you did is you just recycled a bunch of the original assets and then didn't take the time to QA it. This was a lazy rush job, and they try and justify it like, oh, our strategy just didn't add up, or like, but we put all this thought and effort into it. It's like, no.
You see shit like that, and it's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating when you see that happen, and you know there's people out here who are trying to fucking innovate, who are trying to use the technology for purposes that will grow this space in this industry in ways that matter. And like, and you know what? Nobody's going to give a fuck. The next time Azuki says they got to drop, everybody's going to FOMO. They're going to pay 2 ETH for whatever crap they want to shove down their throats. They're going to give them another $40 million, and then they're going to bitch about it afterwards.
There's a lot of simps in the Azuki community.
For those of you that,
in the whole industry.
For those of you that are at home and don't know what's happening, just quick TLDR, they had a terrible launch 2 days ago. The floor prices on all of the assets have gone down. I thought it was going to be a bad day for the beans, but it was a bad day for everybody. So,
it actually wasn't such a bad day for the beans. If you were a bean and you missed out on the mint, you actually are sitting better than if you minted the new asset. I had more than one person. I reached out and I said, "How did you get your mint? Were you able to sneak in with your bean?" And two of them both were like, "I didn't end up getting in, thank God, because I would be underwater at this point because of how much I paid for my bean."
Let me ask you guys this, because maybe you're a little more informed than I have. I'm not part of the Azuki community, and so I'm not informed. But they've been around for some time, and I've always wanted to ask, like, very much like with the D-Gods ecosystem, it's like, what have they delivered? Like, what is it? What's been their roadmap or their purpose for being, and what have they delivered? And I always get mixed messages. It's always like it's coming, but like I've yet to see anything tangible.
Okay.
You know, and I do not want to be the person here causing FOD or anything, you know. But as a Moonbird, as a proof community member, as a community that's gotten a fuck ton of vitriol, and I'm sorry I'm bringing this up, it's a little personal pet peeve of me, but when I started seeing this shit, I was like, I want to see the rage-o-meter here in the fucking, you know, the crypto Twitter, because, you know, our team members have been called grifters, and we've been fudded to fucking death, analyzed from every which way you can imagine. And I mean, at least I can say there's some shit I can point to and be like, here's the deliverables. This is what we're about. This is the roadmap. And we haven't hit everything perfectly. There's been ups and downs, but okay, fine. Bring on the FUD. I look at this shit. I look at Azuki and I look at all this stuff happening, and I'm like, this ain't that fucking bad. Vagabond and now this and all this shit, and they're fucking cruising. I don't care about, I don't even want to mention the floor price or focus on that, but it's just like, it's this part of this space that boggles the fucking mind. Like, I do not understand how you can throw so much vitriol at people, like you said, Ronan, that are actually trying to grow and fucking develop this space, and then all of a sudden here comes this fucking hot shit project that everybody's been fucking FOMOing for years that has yet to deliver anything, fucks up. And honestly, I look at Twitter and I'm just kind of like, okay, like, it ain't shit. It ain't shit for what, like, I've seen other communities receive. Not to mention just proof other communities. I'm really confused. I'm like, wow, like,
this is my concern with Ether, by the way. This is my concern with Ether, because everybody's is hyping up this project, and of course, like, it's a dope trailer and it looks great, but we just saw the same shit happen with Azuki. So this is my concern with the Ether drop tomorrow.
This is the current meta with marketing, is that they spend a bunch of money to create an amazing looking trailer, but there's no substance behind the product. It's just marketing, right? But people FOMO into it thinking that the trailer is a part of a bigger thing that exists. And it's like, no, that was it. Like, you got the trailer, you got FOMO'd into a thing, and there's not any utility other than that PFP that you just bought.
And that's where it's like, really the gap just blows my mind. To Biggie's point, right? Like Moonbirds get so much FUD, Doodles get so much FUD, right? Those guys sent out a physical vinyl to their holders. Those guys have had multiple activations free for their holders where they could go and like be with their other holders and actually do shit. Like they've got real people working on the brand that are putting out quality like animations when they do things. Did Azuki did they do any? You look at the apes, right? You've got this sick freaking cartoon that came out, right? These shorts. This shows that they have a team that is supporting the product and building IP. To answer that question that Psychopath asked, I don't think that there's necessarily a superior product, but I do think that there are people who are actually building a superior product in the long term versus something like Azuki that is literally, I mean, have they done any cool fucking animations? Do they show that they're claiming they have an anime in production, but like, I didn't even see a halfway decent trailer for this drop.
No, they did have a really good trailer, and that's why I do believe that there is an anime in the works, because I think the trailer clearly wasn't indicative of
all I saw was the
elementals
thing and the beans and shit. I didn't see anything other than that.
So what they did is they used the trailer, again, a hype trailer, to promote this drop without showing any of the art. Yeah, this. But so everybody thought that this was really indicative of basically, you know, the PFPs, the elementals would be more in line with this anime. I think all this was them previewing what they've been working on from their anime and using that to hype people in and raise money with this very rushed, you know, PFP derivative of their own project. So that's what I think is happening.
Wouldn't all those characters be cool? Like
that's what I'm saying.
They are and shit. And you guys know I'm self-aware. I just want to real quick. I take back what I said about them not putting out a cool anime. I didn't see this one. All I saw was like the teaser little clips of like the fucking beans and the element around it. So this is something that I agree with, can actually get someone excited, but I would think that the art would be aligned. At the very
it's kind of like false advertising. This is the issue, is that they very purposefully misled people and didn't set proper expectations. What people got with the elementals was not what anybody expected. That's why this was such a misstep and why the floors all fucking tanked. Nobody expected them to dilute the original Azukis with derivative copy pastas of their OG project and basically take this 10K super valuable, the project everybody was saying was going to be the next Bored Ape, and turn it into a 30K project, like supply. That, like, nobody thought that, because that's how they advertised it. And so this is where my sympathy for founders that are trying to do well and be transparent and honest, but it doesn't go right. It moves past that line into, this was a strategically like rushed cash grab where they FOMO'd people in without enough information and communication to raise a bunch of money off of a product that didn't match the marketing and wasn't an actual good product. Like
I mean, the way the raise was structured, or the whitelist was structured, was very much pretending to give value to the current holders, right? So that they could dump it on and expand the ecosystem that way. Yeah. But it backfired, right? And in my opinion, there, it's like it's almost like it's two levels to this shit, right? One is like, you're not really putting any effort into growing and putting some kind of taste makers in front of these fucking images to tell you, hey, this is good, this is gonna work or not. And then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, you tried to do the Bored Ape thing, but it backfired on you, and now your community's fucking pissed at you.
I think you're right. I think you're right in separating it. I think you're right in separating the two, because I honestly, the distribution, I think the community, the larger, broader NFT market could have gotten over that. I think people were pissed. It was like, oh man, you guys are not bringing in any new members. Like, that was the FUD around that. It was the reveal that made this an epic flop. It was absolutely the reveal. And yes, they should have done the distribution a different way. But dude, holy shit!
Well,
this is like the biggest flop ever.
Exactly. What put the nail in the coffin was absolutely the art. That art is cool. It aligns with that trailer. You got this like elemental with like almost a Western vibe going on, an anime mix, right? Like, that would have been dope. and then they really just gave you more of what they had. Again, from someone who works in strategy, I don't understand how you went through this multiple times and thought about it and thought like it could possibly be a good idea. I'm not saying anybody's perfect. I'm not saying that you can't have, blind spots, but you add up everything and it's like,
you didn't look at it at all.
It's
very hard to.
Or your purpose was not what you're claiming it is.
You had somebody looking at that, right? It's like, no, your intentions were different.
I think their intentions are different. It wasn't what they're claiming it is. Because again, if you read through that thread, they try and explain like, oh, we had this really deep strategic thinking behind it. But I think it's just nonsense words that try and justify it because like you're saying, Ronan and Biggie, it doesn't actually make sense. And they still don't address the fact that there's broken art, there's duplicates. And I was throwing this out there today. Like, this is a really weird situation because I saw like there's multiple duplicates being found. There might even be more duplicates in the collection that haven't even been discovered yet. One of the people that found a duplicate had what looked like a really badass elemental, like, super like rare, like flame hair and like badass asset. And they found there's 2 of them. What do you do?
Who got screwed the most on this? Azuki holders, Beans holders,
buyers,
elemental buyers.
Elemental buyers an Azuki holder that bought in at 16 ETH. Okay, somebody that was buying the rumor and held through the news that bought in around 15, 16 ETH to Azuki and then spent 2 more ETH on an elemental.
Yeah, I think like who got the worst end of the stick was the people who like were minting, right? Who had to pay. And then I think like who's got the worst like long-term effect, it's the holders, right? Like you just pulled it up. It's over 55% drop in 24 hours or something. Mm-hmm. That's, as a holder, that just, I know like a lot of us have felt that, right? As holders of a couple of big like blue chips, that never feels good. And you wonder like, how do you go the opposite direction from that? Right. And I want to see Marty.
Marty's trolling.
He can never
so
just
hard.
take a moderate take, dude. The guy, Marty has to be either trolling us with good takes or just
so
be
hard
the
today.
boy who cried wolf. Oh man!
All right, Marty, show us that tattoo when you get it, Marty.
25 minutes on the topic, but we haven't made it through the thread yet. So I'm really kind of curious. Like, could we just read read through it real fast? I just want to know like the rest of that piece. Because that like is super. Thank you, sir. Because I'm just curious, like what they actually say was like where their headspace was at.
All right, I've got the thread here. With that, we had ambitious goals for creating characters that feel consistent with their Azuki roots while still offering something new. We chose to lean in on the idea of elementals, each elemental tied to a domain, and all of them come with unique traits that are specific to their domain. We also added animals and kids.
Challenge ourselves to make 4 variations. So they're telling you how many of like the things result with something that we could grow from the garden. However, ambitious goals led to a new collection.
Is Azuki?
Which confused.
Is the Azuki collection made for kids? Like, is that the community members that like? I feel like there's
not when you're selling the asset for fucking $4,000.
Yeah.
Like,
they're trying to explain how ambitious and thought out their design strategy was. It's a bunch of recycled assets that look like the original project that have broken art and duplicates. Like this was not ambitious. Ambitious would have been to take a year and develop something original and new that was super high quality, that didn't have any inconsistencies and mistakes and didn't dilute your original project. That would have been ambitious.
What do they do with this? I'm going to pose this
Yes. They really ended the fucking the thread with that?
With nothing.
Because they're trying to soothe people's anger by dropping them 10,000
more stuff to try to speculate about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
well, if there's one thing that this community, it's the one thing that they've been able to deliver, I would say, is being able to completely overshadow the whole Zagabond initial FUD wave, right?
Their marketing team's excellent.
I'll give them fucking hats off to that, sirs. And so here comes another wave, and I hope you can serve this one as well as you did the last one. I for one, I honestly like you were saying, GIF in a previous one. It's like it almost seemed like non-existent. Like it receded into the background for so long that even people that I respect were like, "Hey, man, like maybe I'm gonna look for an entry point into Azuki." And I'd be hard pressed to ask any of these guys right now, but like I think their answer would be, "Fuck no," you know, hell no. No, like so I don't know how you're gonna change. You know, how are you gonna onboard people now, right? First, you
Yeah.
need to appease your community, your current holders, which I don't know how you're gonna do that because you can't do refunds. It's too convoluted now.
They're
And
not
then
going
at
to give
the
the
other
money
end is
back.
like, how are you gonna onboard new people and convince
Buy
people
back.
to, you know, it's like, no thanks.
Oof. There has to be an entry point, though. There has to be a entry point. Like if it got down to like 3 ETH, you wouldn't think about it, Biggie, and an OG Azuki.
No, I'll get a Doodles. There's a lot of other projects that I would rather back. Get me
Moonbirds
down
are at
to 1 ETH, and I
1.5.
can still find sub 1 ETH other projects that I would much rather back than Azuki. It's just that simple for me. Like I know some people would say crazy.
Oh.
Look at the fucking floor. Look at the holders. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I've got a long-term vision, and this type of shit is exactly the reason why I don't fuck with certain projects. It's like, I'm sorry, like you've had enough time. You've had enough of a community and backing, and you've yet to deliver anything. And when it comes to time for this overhyped event to deliver, you give your holders the shaft, and then you do this. You also deliver shit on top of it. You know, it's like, no thanks. Like I don't care what your promises are in the future or what you're gonna do. Like even as, like honestly, like it's something that I was previously like not considering, but like it was on my radar as one of like the big Asia plays, right? But at this point, I mean, come on, like there's Meme Land, there's a lot of other like Asian communities and Asian plays that you can go for. I don't for me, it can't go low enough. Like it's not about the floor price to me. It hasn't been for a long time, and this for me, it's definitely about the team and the community. And man, this is a bad burn. Like I'm not interested.
I think I would buy an. I don't know what that floor price would be like, but I would buy an Azuki at some point. I buy NFTs for different reasons, right? And I that wouldn't stop me from buying.
What would you be expecting to get, Q? Because honestly, like I mean, I'm big on communities too.
They clearly have fucked up even beyond this before, Biggie, and it rose up to almost rivaling Bored Ape. They're literally founded by one of like the most sketchy founders. Has been found out to be posing as a female and gotten up to number 2 in the market cap. So
exactly, but then you would be speculating, right? You would be looking for a flip down the line to see if they can pump the floor again and then bail out. It's the risk reward on that at this juncture after this stunt is not in your favor, my friend. Like not to me, not 3 ETHs worth, not $6,000. I can think of a lot better. Like maybe I think Doodles is a better bet. It's just like maybe it's longer term. It's longer term, but I trust that team to have the runway and to have more shots at goal at delivering something of value within 5-10 years than Azuki. I'm not gonna give them a fucking fraction of an ETH.
Yeah, time frames are definitely important for sure. The market just consistently has proven to not really give a shit about events like this time and time again. And so like to me, it's a case of, do you want to be right or do you want to make money? And I think all 4 of us up here hate when projects do something like this. So I definitely agree with you when it comes to like what they're doing.
There's some art blocks projects right now that you can scoop up that are phenomenal, fantastic. They're gonna do great, and they don't need to fucking deliver shit. They're just amazing.
That is
like, why in your fucking right mind would you even consider throwing 0.5 ETH? Maybe at 0.5 ETH. Maybe at 0.5 ETH. You can take
at 9. It's like holding at 9.
And it boggles the mind, Q. It boggles the mind.
It does, like, and so I have to remove my bias.
No thanks.
Yeah. I agree with you on the fundamentals of not.
I mean, let's look at the holders.
Let's
see what the distribution, what that community is like.
Here's where I will get on this bandwagon. I will never mint anything from Azuki, and I was on the fence before this, but now definitely not. Secondary is a whole nother beast. Like I'm not giving money directly to their team in some form of mint, and I can promise you that. So,
How much your quota is at right now?
Probably 5.5, 5.8. I don't know. Let's find quotas at some point. All right.
Go up.
There was a question related to this, talking about like, what NFT projects have released product, right? And then I think the other piece was who's going to fill Azuki's shoes? Is it the gods? Like, is the gods? Is there? It feels like there's no second at this point. Like that, to Gift's point, like it was Azuki trying to get into that same. We're just talking
about floor price, right?
I guess
it's almost like
what deliverables are we talking about, or anything? We're just talking about hype.
Maybe sentiment. Price. Maybe sentiment.
I was gonna say sentiment. I feel like sentiment should probably be attached to that, or positive like sentiment and like positive traction. I think like should probably
that
be
shit's fleeting, right? Like, and in that regards, like I think he's a master at flipping this shit around. Next week they'll be cheering on how innovative it is and incredible, and it was a political stunt and whatever. I don't know.
Shouldn't we be focused more on utility and actual value created and like products and shit like that? Like, I don't know, man. So like, sentiment is so fickle in this space. That can change from day to day. That to me, like, it's great when you have a strong community and you can build that momentum, but like even that clearly can shift immediately. I don't know. It's become more clear to me, I think, this week with the failed reveal of Elementals and what Yuga's doing with Forge and how they're rolling this out, that just there's nobody even close. And like this whole conversation of like, oh, the next Bored Apes or who's going to challenge Yuga, there's nobody even close. Like not even close, in my opinion.
No, I will say, because you were talking, you asked, it was a two-part question that you initially asked you about who's going to take their place, and allow me to entertain you folks. But I sent you a link there. I'm very bullish on what Icon is doing, and their floor price is laughable at this moment. But I just wanted to say that here live on the show at some point down the line. You might be surprised by what this project is doing. It's really cool. It's got, amazing founders from, everything like from Grand Theft Auto to
I've actually been
other
following this one.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really, and if you wanted to take a punt, in my opinion, risk reward, this is a project that I would be looking at. And in the animation realm, they're in talks with Hollywood. I minted from day one. I've been a part of the community from day one. I'm really bullish on what they're doing. Very cool people.
And remember what the price was?
Cool. You're talking about like some of the OGs of fucking like comics and fucking video games. Like just take a look at their team. Stellar roster. Holders are fucking diamond hands.
What's the collection? Me,
like again,
Icon.
Not equate.
Yeah, but how do you spell it?
Icon with a 3, so EY3KON.
EY3KON.
I just dropped it in the private chat.
Yeah,
it looks cool. What was mint price? Do you remember?
I want to say it was like 0.08.
Oh, it's K0N. It's K0N, by the way.
And it's great, man. Like I mean, right now the community, obviously, floor price isn't great. It's a little dormant, but every time they come out with an announcement, every time they come out with a deliverable, you see shit move forward. And they're serious players in the game. They're transparent. They're fully doxed. Look at the pedigrees of the whole team. I mean, this is to me the type of how would you call it? Because they're not anime, right? Like they're a little more on the Western style comic strip, but it's really dope, man.
Eon Flux.
We just got an announcement, by the way. We'll let me show it real quick, and then we're going to jump it back into gifts. But we just got an announcement. Forge opens in 1 hour, so there's the announcement for you guys. That was 10 minutes ago. So it's going to open at.
Ah, shit. Q, are we going to stay live? Are we just going to stay live, bro?
Just stay live the whole time. Yeah.
I was going to say, you going to like go live or something, Q?
Maybe we should. Talking about with the other space guys.
I want to see what happens.
I want to see what happens. I don't have a heavy metal.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Sounds like there's some demand.
Nice.
Dude, this art is actually phenomenal.
It's sick. It's sick.
I mean,
it's
like,
pretty
dude,
cool.
like you
I'm,
talk
looking at
about
it.
you talk about like PFPs and shit, bro. Like, I don't know if it might take a minute to load because it's high.
I'm surprised you guys hadn't heard of Icon. Like it's been like a year now, but yeah, it's been one of those sleepers that
Come on.
just patiently waiting for it to blow.
You could view original media GIF on another tab, maybe.
I have no idea how long I've been following them, but I definitely like it pops up on my timeline a lot, and yeah, it's
View original media. Where's that?
It's up top on the picture. Like right.
And their website is super dope too.
Oh, there you go.
They have like a live radio station that you can listen to, which is pretty dope.
That's cool. See, that's cool. The stuff that like, you know, the storytelling, like the interaction, like bringing people in and like immersing them kind of like in your lores.
Oh my God.
They've been
When I
releasing
really
comic
like
books. So they're up to like comic number 8 right now. I've been reading all of them. Really cool story. And yeah, just a little alpha that I know that there are talks already happening with Hollywood studios and stuff like that. But then again, these are the people that have those connections and that track record to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that reminds me of, Ronan? Is Huxley.
Yeah.
What is Huxley doing these days, man? I would love to see.
Yeah, dude.
I love Huxley. They've still pushing the game forward, I think, is the big thing. Plus, like they're the MVP for like some like visual media.
And then the vault is supposed to be opening soon, right, Ronan?
I want to go look at some of these like highest.
I don't know. I have to.
All right, I want to play another game here, real quick with you guys. So we had a question earlier: what products what NFT collections have developer products? So I've got the entire market cap here. This is lightning. NFTpriceploor.com. Searching by market cap. Quick yes or no. We're just going to go down the list.
What is the question?
No.
Does the collection or has the collection provided a product? Any tangible product? CryptoPunks.
And we say value instead of product because CryptoPunks is not created a product.
Well, no. Well, wait. It's art.
We're
talking products.
Does the Tiffany's CryptoPunks necklaces count?
Maybe.
No, Tiffany's made that shit. They didn't
true.
need anybody. That's just like if you own a CryptoPunk, we'll print out your CryptoPunk on a Tiffany's necklace.
Okay, that's not okay.
The argument I think for CryptoPunks is that it's art, right? Like it's in that category, so it doesn't need to necessarily provide a product. Punks, no. Bored Ape Yacht Club, yes.
Yeah.
Mutants, yes.
Autoglyphs,
art.
DeGods.
Wait,
no.
Straight up no. Just straight up no.
Squiggles are doing the sweaters right now. I mean, Marty was talking.
Yeah,
about
that's true. Yeah, Marty said something about sweaters, so I guess there's kind of coming out of that. But I think if it's art, they get a pass in general, in my opinion. If they're like chromies, that's just art, you know.
Biggie, if there's some lag on our side where it feels like we're talking over you, I think there's some lag coming. That's all that is.
The DeGods have their new wallet, so they have the D wallet. So they actually there is a product within that ecosystem.
Like
and Dust, I guess. I don't know if you think of a coin as a product or not, but not really.
Yeah.
And they bought a basketball team. Sure, okay.
Other deeds?
Right.
Yes.
They're building a product?
In development.
Yeah, at least we know there's a product being built. We've had play tests and things like that.
Yeah.
Captains.
I don't know.
Absolutely not, right? Meme Land?
No.
I don't think.
No, not yet. I mean, the token, sure.
But the NFTs aren't even revealed, I think, at this point, right?
Wow.
No. Yes, with the sandbox.
Yeah.
Decentraland, yes.
Yeah. No need.
No need. Pudgies, yes.
Yes. Clonex.
Yes.
Fucking Milady.
Milady, no. I still don't fucking understand Milady, dude. It just doesn't click.
Right.
Yes.
Channels, Codas.
Meebits.
Codas are, yeah.
Meebits have your 3D model.
I would get 2 Meebits instead of a 3 ETH Azuki.
I would probably agree. Just because I know that Yuga owns Meebits and they've also hired someone to specifically work on the Meebits brand. Someone there I trust way more than I trust Zaga and friends.
I have no idea who the real MVP is. What is this?
Memeland. And
It looks like
they're
Memeland.
top of the line. Like they're super community, you know.
Nouns
and
people got glasses.
I actually really like what Nouns is doing, trying to like grow as like a cultural brand. They feel like Red Bull to me almost with what their marketing tactics.
Yeah, they also have there's tons of different products in their ecosystem that are coming out of the DAO.
You could even say the Noun itself is a product. Like it's one of the only, like literally they sell it. It's every day. It's revenue, like consistent stream of revenue. Which is a different model.
Nope.
Well, Utes is part of the Gods ecosystem, which again has a wallet.
But I mean, we just went through quite a few, and
most of them.
V-Friends,
top 20.
V-Friends, yes.
What is that? The conference?
Monkey, yes.
No, they also have
the
actual
cards, the collectible cards.
Now they have the actual plushies that are actually in
they have
stores.
The plushies you can go buy at Toys R Us. Yeah.
and they have the biggest and best Web3 conference ever created. So like they're doing more than almost anybody.
A lot. Yeah.
Moonbirds, Doodles.
Yes.
Doodles has the avatars, right, for your Doodles. Like that's a product. I mean, it wasn't well received.
Like that plus. I mean, they did the vinyl figures for the Doodles holders. They did the two like events at NFC NYC, the golf course, and then the other thing.
Other than merch, what has Moonbirds delivered on a product level?
Are you kidding me, man?
No, I'm asking because I don't.
Before we jump into that,
the Diamond Exhibition, a bunch of art.
Okay, okay? I guess that counts.
And you were able to claim your Mythics.
All right, Ronan, say bye to the peeps, man.
Peace out, brother.
I appreciate you guys. Good to see you, Biggie. I'm curious what you've been doing with the VR. We'll have to chat.
For sure.
I'll catch you guys later. Now get into that.
Seeing you, man.
Peace, dude.
Bye.
All right, so we went through about like what? There was a ton of art there, but we went through about 32 projects. Maybe half had delivered some type of product.
Yeah.
The worst. Arsenal, what rock you living under, dude? I'm just kidding. Yes, Elemental is completely rugged.
I think it's the thumbnail because I mean, look, if you look at it from did they successfully raise money, they didn't fail. It's just like the reveal obviously was poor and not well received. But also I think the thumbnail was clickbaity, and I think that was the point.
True.
Got
him. You're here now. You can't sleep. All right. I'm going to do the NFTGO Bag Check real quick.
We are the problem, Q. That's what I realized.
NFTGO, you guys are awesome. Sponsor on this month's episodes of NFT Live. You guys have rocked all the way through. Let's check out the market overview, or how we like to call it, the NFTGO Bag Check. All right, we're going to check it out. Because Justin Murray is here, we will pull up Crypto Slam. This is the Ethereum ecosystem of which we primarily are involved in. The market sentiment has gone up overnight. 35, it was sitting at 28. Still in a bear market, folks, with a 30-day profit loss, has been forever, as long as I can remember. We have the blue chip index consistently falling against USD, falling as well against ETH. Market cap, looks like the volume has stayed pretty consistent, but market cap here has consistently gone down. Let's check that against 30 days and see where we're at. Yep, still a pretty big lows here against USD and ETH. So it's felt like sentiment has really risen. This is probably Azuki, no? You guys think this volume is Azuki? Yeah, probably Azuki. And let's check out the latest on the 24-hour and 7 days as far as collections are concerned. Of course, everything Azuki.
Volume is not directional, right? Volume does not tell you if it's sales or like floors dropping or going. It's just how much volume, right? So
honestly, the floor this little dip right here, what you see is the total Ethereum market cap for NFTs. That's probably a dip due to all of the Azuki prices going down. A ton of price hits there. But we take the data, we speculate with it. Volume 24 hours. Azuki. Let's look what this looks like. That's 40%. Yeah, that's 54%.
That is 54% of the volume.
So over half over half. So Azuki Elementals, Beans, then Bored Ape, Mutants, Degods, Heavies, Wrapped Punks, and the Captains. And that, I believe, will look about the same over the last 7 days. Yeah, pretty much the exact same with Milady's coming in at top 10. So I wonder where most of this is being traded. Let's check out the marketplaces real quick before we bump out.
Now I'm curious, what would you do, Q, if you did own an Azuki right now and it just got sliced in half on the floor?
Wait.
Would you be? Yeah, you'd just be waiting.
Wait, it depends on my entry price.
Maybe lighting a candle.
What's my entry price?
Let's say you minted. Yeah.
Oof. That's a great question because 9 ETH can be put to work. I would hold. I would hold. I think they'll bounce back. Unfortunately, again, I don't agree with it, but I think the market just doesn't react the way I would like it to react a lot of the times. So I would hold. Wait for them to kind of raise up in the bull market. What the hell is Magically? Reservoir?
These are traders, right?
Oh, yeah. You're wait.
Oh, okay.
No,
so these are
marketplaces.
Yeah.
In the last 24.
All right. Maybe some new marketplaces that we haven't really picked up on. Interesting.
So Justin's here, and I was talking to him about NFTGO in the fact that so again, this is primarily Ethereum. This is the wash trading filter. This handy dandy piece that I'm clicking here, you can see when I have it off, there's over the last 7 days, 94,000 about ETH has been traded. If you put it on, 94,000. So wondering what the issue is here with what they're tracking. If they look at blur trading as wash trading, I don't know. Because again, I don't think that looks much different on the OpenSea side. Off 25, on 25. So again, need definitions for these tools and what these analytics look like. So, all right, what do we got? What does chat look like? Is it a shit show in here?
Yeah, we got Milady. we got Poo Chips. I don't know what an SMB raffle is. If you want to explain SMB
but Q,
raffle,
I sent you also a link in the private chat. Did you check out that thing about Sotheby's launching their own generative art platform?
I can pull it up for you, my man. I got you.
With their initial artist is 99 years old, dude. 99-year-old generative artist. Already launched their first NFT, but I guess like super well renowned. This Vera Molnar.
Sotheby's Metaverse.
First of all, Sotheby's, you slide fox, you. Kudos to, setting your first, your first artist to be a 99-year-old artist, because she's gonna croak pretty soon. And then you're going to try to pull off the fucking Van Gogh speculation shit and be like, she was it's a titan in the industry.
One of the reasons why blockchain is great is because it can operate like a time capsule. And so capturing artists, while they're alive, getting them on chain so they can theoretically live on forever. That's part of the idea. It is smart. You're right.
It's beautifully phrased. Yeah. I like the idea of them counting on the fact that she's going to croak. And floor price is just gonna blast off.
All right, two comments here. Kagi Yan is in the house, so the Juice Man himself is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Jen Eth is saying, "I always know I'm listening to sheep when I hear the words Azuki fail." Explain to me.
Oh God.
Explain to me what the fuck happened this week.
Yes.
Please do so.
Jesus.
Simps in the chat. Let's go.
If you give me a 2-sentence explainer of what went on, I will gladly, potentially change my mindset. And Kagiana's shilling hard. I wouldn't. Hey, man, get yours.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, it was an interesting thing to see, right? Because like the traditional art market, I think I was reading, is like $68 billion fucking dollars. Art blocks right now is at like 160 million. So that's a large, very wide gap. Now, of course, I would much rather a natively launched project and platform to be the dominant force, but Sotheby's, and you can postulate that Christie's will be following suit soon. It makes sense, right? That they're going to launch their own platforms to try to take their slice of the pie, just like in traditional finance, we're seeing them try to do that with DeFi. How do you feel about that? Like, would you mint generative art from Sotheby's, which you will probably have to KYC for?
Why not? Why would that stop me from doing so?
You'd be supporting like the old guard.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be supporting the old guard. Two, you'd be succumbing to the KYC, which are not crypto principles. Three, it's just, yeah, like I like the David and Goliath, I guess, story for me. I always root for the underdog, but yeah, it just doesn't sit well with me. You know, it's like a little bit like cringy, like I don't want you to do well. You know?
Yeah. It's a great point, man, and it raises a great conversation. When I think about these things, I don't think about in the sense that I don't want to use them if they're hosted by a centralized platform or things like this, or an entity like Sotheby's. My question is, do they have the rails to remove the asset from whatever centralized service they have to the open blockchain?
So it's interesting because they've always been middlemen, right? They've been an auction house for their whole entire existence. Now, there is some, I would say, like shared interest there when it comes to like being able to verify provenance, right? Because they are the ones that have been able to say like, oh, this is a real Picasso, and we're going to help you sell it because we have contacts with all the people that like to collect and buy Picassos and all this stuff, right? But now launching their own platform, again, to me, it's like I would love to hear something about how they plan to use those funds to further, generative art or the NFT space. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I'm going to take that with a very tiny, tiny grain of salt, because I don't think that's what their motivation is. It's very pure, which is fine, which is like, I want my slice of the pie. And obviously they have the contacts and the funds to be able to essentially pull something off that can be great. Having said that, I maybe like if I think about it as an onboarding mechanism for people that already deal with Sotheby's, that have a lot of money, to onboard them into Web3, that I'm cool with. But yeah, other than that, it just seems, again, an extraction attempt by an old guard financial institution.
We got PTSD.
Trade by. And I don't see them like being, I don't know, like I just don't see them being very interested in anything else regarding the ecosystem, right?
Had a fantastic conversation with Andrew Steinwald. In parallel to this conversation, we were talking about the metaverse, right? And like this guy cut his teeth on being one of the first to like mass buy parcels in crypto voxels when crypto voxels was first popping off. Like this guy's been in and around the metaverse more than anybody. And the guy is basically, at this point, he was telling me that his idea of what these virtual worlds will look like are no longer fully on-chain native Web3. It's going to be from, he'll use a product built by Apple, for example, if it does have a virtual world component. I think that's probably the more pragmatic view, man. I like, especially for these virtual worlds, Decentraland, voxels, they are all dead in the water because they don't have the, what is it, like
users,
the money, the teams. I don't know. It's probably just comes down to money, but they don't have the money to get the shit done. You know what I mean? Like they for all intents and purposes, those platforms have failed. They're, like as far as a daily active user count is concerned, but Apple will not. So that I know that's not exactly the same sector, but
no, I understand it. Like it's the difference between it's almost like, do you want to be right or do you want to make money, right? But then you will have to do so within the Apple walled garden and paying the fucking fees and doing all that shit, right? Which is something that I've been trying to dislodge and been rooting for that dislodgement. And so, yeah, it's one of those things. We'll see how it plays out. But mark my words, when that first generative artist lady dies, we'll see what happens with that piece of art. Very interested.
All right, we have the Juice Man, so I have to play the video. I'm literally obligated, I think, contractually to play this video.
It's in his rider.
All right.
You ready to see a chicken derby race?
Oh yeah.
Are you ready to see a chicken derby race?
Yeah. Go for it, baby.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the chicken derby, and we are off there. And leading up in the middle is we got purple hair leading up to the way. Down in the bottom. Bottom is the Asian chicken. Glasses in third. Oh, gun has been fired. It's gonna be a photo finish here. Everybody down. Pink chicken is in the lead. Glasses up in the second. Do not count our glasses and sunshade. Sunshade most of it. We have Becky pushing in fast. Oh man, we're gonna place that. Oh, we got Star Hat is pushing in now. Where are we going, folks? Where is this headed? This is gonna be a bunch of doodle-doos. Oh my God, purple is coming back in French. Shades is holding strong, but watch out for Star Hat. Star Hat still holding on. There we got Shades.
Mine is a yellow one.
Oh, we got Vikings. Where are we going here? This is gonna be a doodle-doo.
Yeah, let's fight.
Oh my God, this is gonna be the crazy. We got Shades. We got Vikings. We got glasses. We got
I got Mario Tower, baby. I got Mario Tower, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go.
Oh my God! And this is going to be a crazy race.
Oh shit!
Lord.
It was all slow, but I was enjoying the audio. Like it was kind of glitched out for me. But I've seen that clip. I've seen that clip so many times that it never gets old. But it makes me think of how far we've come because Forge is about to launch, and you know, Kaggy's saying he won't play Forge. He'll play Chicken Derby and get that amped up about Chicken Derby, but he's not going to play Forge. I don't know. I'm kind of questioning.
He doesn't like robots. He
why.
doesn't trust robots.
Oh, okay. Chickens only. It's only chickens.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Poultry.
All right.
He's keeping lean.
All right. Got it. That makes sense. Totally.
The dynamic duo, Kaggion and Crypto Buffalo, man, that was
amazing.
A throwback. Easy saying nice memories. It was back to a simpler time when we were racing chickens on this channel. Hey, the Forge opens in like 30 minutes. I don't know what our plan is, but we got something.
Should we stop NFT Live and just go live again? Should we just create another?
I feel like that might be the play, but we still got about 10-15 minutes before we need to roll into that. Oh man, where are we?
Dude, there's other things to talk about. We do have a Moonbirds update on the Mythics.
Yeah.
So did you see this, Biggie?
Yeah, I tagged you and.
Oh, you're the one that tagged me. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I'm the one that tagged you on it. So
I didn't
check
get a tag.
it out. Get ready.
Did I get a tag?
Well, you're
Biggie?
not interested, Q.
What?
You want to buy Azuki's at 3 ETH.
I will buy. Don't make me make any promises about buying an NFT. All right.
No. I don't do that. I'll tag you next time. Promise.
Damn.
But yeah,
I know Kaggy's got an interesting take here. Why would I don't understand why you would hope that a Web3 native brand trying to create the future of gaming would fail.
Hold up, Kaggy, before we try to convince you of this, all I want you to do, and I will link you this podcast, but listen to these guys' podcast with Larva Labs, the guys that created CryptoPunks. It's basically 30 minutes of them in the beginning of the episode just nerding out about how they played EverQuest, World of Warcraft, RuneScape. Like, it's literally like they were hardcore gamers. Like, you have to listen to this podcast. That's all I'll say. So I'll link it to you and then come back and let me know if you still think these guys didn't have gaming in their minds the whole time.
Easy saying, in the old days, lads, we raced chickens uphill in the snow. That's facts. Again, we were talking about how old we feel, with how many generations and crypto years we've been in this thing now.
All right. While I still have Kaggy, actually, do we want to fill up the? Do we want to follow up on this with the Moonbirds?
I think we should mention it because I'm curious, like, what people's takes on this rollout is, where only 50 eggs and 50 oddities per day have a chance to burn, and then this could take months, and like
they told us the exact amount of time it's gonna take for everything to mint out. It's not too long, but it's a slow drip, and it was done intentionally. Obviously it's just a new approach at minting, right? Which we'll see if it works out, if it pisses off people, if it, what have you. I kind of like it, it for once, it has this mechanism where it makes you kind of like tune in every day to see what got minted, what was birthed, and also like, I'm very curious to see, I have a couple of eggs, I have a couple of oddities, like, I mean, and series numbers don't necessarily mean a lot, but for some reason, like, I like the idea of like maybe like being one of the first fireheads or whatever, that comes up. So we'll see. I think it can. I think it can turn out to be something a lot of fun, especially, if they do the wall of pain where you get to see what people let go instead of minting. That one's gonna be rough. So we'll see. I mean, this is, I think, what Proof is great at. It's like just trying different approaches at, like with Grails. This is a different approach at like a minting mechanism that may or may not be adopted later down the line, and it could or could not. We'll see how people react towards it. I'm excited for it because, also if it were to go the Azuki route, which it won't.
Next time Biggie's on this show,
you
I'm
can
gonna have
pause
a
it real
Moonbird.
quick and fix it, right?
Dude,
Next time
Moonbirds are
Biggie's
sitting at 1.5 ETH, man. I'm telling you, like, I'm close to
Biggie,
wanting to try and get one.
Next time you're on this show, I'm having a Moonbird in my wallet.
Yeah, right.
All right.
You don't believe
Dude,
it?
don't believe anything this man says
wow.
about buying NFTs.
Here's the
I just
thing.
bought 10 heavies with you. I bought like 6 heavies with you.
5.
I would love to have you guys in the community, but again, it's got to be like from your own volition. Like I'm not gonna strong arm anybody to join or mint anything except dick pics. That one was for fun, for the lulz.
I still got one, bro. I don't know.
I got like 10, but you'll see those things are gonna turn OG gift down the line. It'll be like, dude, you're OG if you got a dick pics.
Nah,
I'm getting capped here.
That's gonna be high. That's gonna be hidden. Yeah, you are. That's because it is cap.
Hey, I want to share something real quick, y'all. Let me get this out of the way because I got 2 podcasts I want to show you. First of all, this is the pod. Actually, I first shared the Punk 6529 podcast with Blockworks. This was fantastic. It was literally a love song to the metaverse. Punk 6529 I have a newfound respect for. I have not heard him on a long form content before, and he is amazing with how he lays out his thesis and how he lays out features of NFTs taking over the planet. Essentially, it's great. This was also the one I wanted to drop, which was the Larva Labs guys when Gordon was still here. R.I.P. When
he's not dead, bro.
I know, but he's not a part of you. He's not really there. You know what I'm saying in Yuga. So that's why I say that. But this podcast with Larva Labs, if you're interested on the why Yuga's even moving into a gaming company, you got to take this. You got to check this out.
Well, since we're dropping content, also I would highly recommend you guys search out for Raul Pal's latest thesis called the Everything Code. Also, like right up there with 6529 on crypto and just the general state of things. It's really, really good.
Yeah, Raul Pal's primarily talking about the exponential age, which is, again, it's all about network effects.
So this is like his follow-up GIF. You're going to love it.
Yeah, well, I've been paying attention to a little bit, but I wanted to hit DP's comment here. He's got a hilarious comment saying, GIF buys everything and swears he's going to stop. Q doesn't buy shit and swears he's going to buy everything. It's a nice balance we got. Mwah. Perfect balance we got up here. And then, Biggie took a break. Biggie took his hands off of his wallet for now.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been a crazy fucking initial 6 months of the year. So, yeah, I thought it prudent for the time being, But I'm still here. I'm still present. And, I remain bullish, optimistic.
Okay, I'm still sorry. I was looking at Twitter there. That's why GIF was still up on the screen. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is happening with the Forge. They tweeted about 41 minutes ago that the Forge would go live in an hour, And then there's another tweet that says, we are working to integrate Wallet Connect v2 and will be supported after launch. Safe Wallet users can delegate to MetaMask compatible wallets and play. Mobile users can use MetaMask in-app browser.
It's just
so
working out a few kinks.
Yeah, we're still following it. While I still had Kagi here, this came across the timeline here today. Valve banned 40 CSGO skins, traders with 2 million in skins now locked and gone. Valve banned 40 CSGO skin traders with... Okay, so they banned 40 accounts. Traders with 2 million in skins now locked and gone. In my opinion, you need probably a few more of these like large-scale events to push gamers to understand NFTs. I really don't think we're ever going to get 100% of folks, but you're going to get a slow trickle that are going to be red-pilled by these events here. So big event, though, I think. What do y'all think?
I agree. Like it sucks, but at the same time, it makes me bullish. And like you said, I want a few more of these, or maybe to like some prominent social media person for it to happen, for them to really pick up on, you know, how important this sector is.
Yeah,
this was wild.
This was just as big or more interesting to me too, because to your point, Biggie, what you need is key opinion leaders to start to like actually educate around why the technology matters. And Nadeshot, who's like a really, really big influence on the gaming space, tweeted this saying NFTs are incredibly valuable in the future of new wealth creation for Gen Z, which, you know, a lot of people are pointing out like maybe some of this is just engagement farming, some of this is scrolling, but this is really important because he's giving you a why. He's saying, look, I believe in NFTs and here's why you should too. And like, you need more of these key opinion leaders to actually step up and not be scared of the fudders and the negative backlash, to actually be educating and onboarding. But then you also need a few more of these data points, which are the use cases, the real live data points for why NFTs matter, which is this CSGO skins debacle. A couple more of those and a couple more big key opinion leaders coming out. Like, I think you start to see the tide shift. So this could be the beginning of a tide shift.
All right, Kagi's saying I have my takes in Twitter. NFTs don't fix this. All right, we'll pull that tweet up. Are Yuga Labs games now? I want to like dive into this. Yeah, I don't want to dive into it because literally we're coming up on the heavy metal launch right now. There have been tweets. There have been actual videos that are showing like in-game pieces. But this says, what should your first move in Heavy Metal Forge be? Build stuff to unlock stuff. Try to building 5 tiles or generating 5,000 energy. Unlock your first portal to see what other players are building and start winning votes. And then third, generate energy faster by upgrading tiles and caring for your HV. Press L to see tile levels. So basically try to get enough tiles to get to your portal, check it out, and then start taking care of your heavy by creating better tiles. Seems to be the alpha right out the gate.
All right.
Kagi's saying Nadeshot believes in NFTs because he has a game coming out and is really good friends with Ryan from Polygon. Doesn't really matter why. Like, isn't that good enough reason for him to believe in it? You know what I mean? Like, whatever your reason is, the point is that you have key opinion leaders that believe in it that are going to start to talk more about it.
The smart folks at the top of the food chain seem to understand the technology. It's like the remainder of just like gamers in general that don't get it, and it sucks. And who knows how long it's going to take to get a majority of people on board. The first thing they think about with NFTs is a scam trying to take their money. And what's hilarious is that the games themselves are the ones that are taking their money without any return, besides, I guess, the fun value of playing that game. Yeah.
Yo, this chat's been lit. Y'all been fucking killing it over there. So big props to all y'all hanging out in the chat. We appreciate it. Keep it going. It makes these conversations way more interesting when y'all are involved. And giving us all the hot takes you got, you know, controversial opinions and hot takes only.
Now,
it's all
so we are coming up towards the end of the first half of the year. Like we've all said, it's not just the couple of weeks, it's the whole fucking half of the year. It's been tumultuous to say the least. I'm curious in the chat, and my co-host, what are you looking forward to for this next half of the year, and how do you see the end of the year, closing out?
Feels incredibly I always feel incredibly bullish, like long term, but it feels like the narratives are set up, right? Post SEC FUD, we have all of these ETFs being filed. We have the Asian narrative, the European narrative of we're going to accept crypto. And now we're getting even more along the lines of the Web3 gaming front. So I guess my first point was more about the macro crypto environment seeming really bullish. And then within the micro of what we deal with every day, it feels like gaming's right there. It feels like gaming has got up to the precipice of actually having things we can do, things we can play. So that's my take.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how this heavy metal forge goes over the next couple months, because I do think it's a really big deal. I'm probably and obviously I'm excited about like other projects that are going to be doing big things and all that stuff, and NFTs. Sure, there will be some things that are exciting and cool, seeing how these mythics work. There's things like that are cool. But I think, to Q's point, what I'm most excited about and hopeful for is to see the macro environment start to shift in a more bullish direction, because everything else follows that. If Bitcoin and ETH start to chug back upwards towards some highs or new highs, or even just getting close to old highs, everything else changes. Everything that's happening in DeFi, in meme coins, in NFTs, all of that looks way more bullish and more interesting by the end of the year if the macros are more positive. And so with all the SEC stuff happening, with all the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs starting to get some momentum, that's what I'm most excited about, because everything else is kind of gravy at that point. If the momentum, the positive momentum we're seeing, really turns into a different macro environment.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree. Biggie, I love your take, man.
No, I echo both. You guys covered everything pretty well. I mean, I guess, like you said, the macro, I want to say this time it's different, because it's not just, that we might be entering, or we are entering, this new bull cycle, but that we're finally going to start getting some clarity, if not from the United States, but from other countries, right? And that will definitely take us up a notch to being taken a lot more seriously, right? And for other people to really start taking notice. Having said that, in the space, yes, I think there's a ton of projects doing really cool. I'm definitely interested in seeing what happens, with the metaverse within these next 6 months. I think it's coming back as like a big talking point, thanks to the whole Apple, hardware that's going to be launched. And then, more of a sleeper sectors that I'm also just keeping my eye on are music and fashion, that I think can also have some very big moments, towards the end of this year. So yeah, I'm feeling really, really bullish, and I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited about Marfa this September. I'm excited about MCon in September also, I think. Hopefully I'm able to make those two out. And yeah, I think, I don't know, like, if we're gonna, as long as it's not a tumultuous fucking negative closeout, I'd be happy. I don't know if we're gonna end the year euphoric or not. I definitely think that even if we don't, even if there's some, I don't know, I'm just thinking if there could be some kind of black swan event, whether it's China or Russia shenanigans. But I do think that coming into the next year and ending this year, people in crypto are going to be very bullish, because we're going to have the halving coming up next year, and whatever developments are delivered this year, fingers crossed, will be substantial enough to hopefully onboard like a bigger part of this world to finally start dipping their toes into crypto.
Love that take, man. Jake, we need to clip that.
Yo.
All right, folks, this is going to be the end of NFT Live. We're about to, I don't know if we're going to fire it up for heavy metal. I don't know what we're doing right after this, but stay tuned to both of our Twitter profiles. to see. Biggie, we appreciate you, man. As always, Ronan, who is hopefully watching afterwards, but getting after it on the meetings. We appreciate you as well, dude. Last thing I'll show real quick. I did have Andrew Steinwald on the show this morning, so I was able to get an interview in with just an awesome mind when it comes to the metaverse, when it comes to NFTs in general. And yeah, we had a great conversation. So that's going to go live here on Monday of next week. But I do have this podcast that I'm linking right now about the ApeCoin DAO special elections. Really a deep dive on just DAO elections in general and how ApeCoin is kind of handling the tumultuousness over the last month.
I have to ask you, Q. Did he talk a little bit about Cyberbroker, about wifey's Cyberbroker?
I stayed away from it because I thought that was kind of like the, hey, how's Josie doing, like, question. I was like, I'm here. I'll interview Josie at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's a metaverse play still, so it would have been in line. But I get you. I get you. He probably gets that a lot.
Yeah, and we only had like, I think 45, 50 minutes, so we touched on a lot of other stuff, a lot of AI stuff that he's interested in, which I'm sure you would vibe with. So yeah, well, that episode will drop on Monday, but check out the interview I just did with Sasha, who is running for special counsel in ApeCoin. So a lot of cool developments. Biggie, Gifted, I'll let y'all take it out. I appreciate all of y'all that tuned in throughout the entirety of the episode. We appreciate you guys, man. OVOT.
OVOT. Happy 4th of July weekend to everybody. I hope you all have a fucking amazing time. My co-host included. I'll see you next week. I'm looking forward to it. Take it away,
Gift. Yeah, man. I didn't even think that this was 4th of July weekend. So I guess thanks for that reminder. It's going to be great. I hope y'all all have a good one. Big love to everybody, especially y'all hanging out in the chat today. It's been real. Honestly, really, really enjoyed the combos. It's been another big week here at the Web3 Network. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead and do that. We want you to be part of this awesome community. Smash the like while you're at it. Y'all know how that works. It really matters and means a lot. Our vibe, our tribe.
Biggie, next time you see me, I'll have a Moonbird.
All right. Right on.
Cap.